Hello and welcome to another episode of our JavaScript series. In the previous episode, I showed how you can create a character counter using JavaScript. Here is the character counter. For example, if I click Control Enter to run this snippet, we get a prompt that says type your message here. And for example, if I paste a message, I'm just going to copy this lorem ipsum text from here and paste it inside here. You'll see that after clicking OK, we get an alert that reads you have typed 445 characters, so you have minus 245 characters remaining. Now that minus 245 indicates that the characters of this message exceed the 200 character limit. Now, what if we want our character counter to take a limited number of characters? That is, if the character limit is 200 like it is right here, and we want that, if we paste a message of say 250 characters, the character counter should take only 200 characters and cut off the remaining 50 characters. We can achieve this by using the slice method. Now let's learn more about the slice method before we put it to use in our character counter. The slice method allows us to slice strings into separate characters. Let's take a look at the syntax here. First, we specify what we want to slice. In our case, we want to slice a message. And then comes the slice method. This method takes two numbers separated by a comma. These numbers specify which slice or slices we want from a string. The first number specifies the starting position and the second number is the ending position. Now let me comment out these two lines of code like so, control / and then I'm going to create space at the top here. So what I want to do here, I just want to show you how this method works. The first thing that I am going to do, I'm going to create a variable. Okay, I'm going to create a variable right at the top here, and I'm going to name this variable message, and I'm going to say it's equal to a simple hello, like so. Now I'm going to create a pop-up. I'm going to use an alert. I'm going to say alert, a pair of round brackets, and then inside here I am going to specify what I want to slice. So I want to slice a message, and then I'm going to use the slice method to do that. Okay, like so, slice, and then a pair of round brackets. Now inside here I am going to specify which slices I want from this hello string. So remember, as I was saying earlier, the first number specifies the starting position and the second number specifies the ending position. So to start things off, I'm just going to say 0 here and then 1. Now with this, what I want to slice from this string are characters from position 0 up to but not including position 1. Now let me click Control Enter to run this snippet and see what is the outcome. The output is age. Now always remember that in programming we count from 0, which means that the letter H is at position 0, not 1. So let me just zoom in here a bit so that we have a clear view of what I am talking about here. Okay, so I want you to take a look at the cursor. As you can see, it's flashing here. I'm going to move it inside the string. Here is where it's flashing. So this cursor is at the position 0. So what I did is that I sliced this string from position 0 and then we moved to position 1. So the cursor is now at position 1. and then there is y. If I can just come back here and run this snippet, you'll see that the output is 0. So we start counting from 0, and then we moved to 1, and what we wanted to slice was the character from position 0 up to, but not including position 1. Now let's take this a bit further. Now let's say, for example, I want to slice the last letter O. Okay, what I will do, I'll have to come here and say I want to slice characters from character at position 4 up to, but not including the character at position 5. So now let's see where is character at position 4. So we are at 0. Look at the cursor. We say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the cursor is now at position 4, and then we said we want to slice from position 4 up to, but not including the character at position 5. And then when I click Control Enter, as you can see, the output is 0. Now another example, one last example. If, for example, I want to slice the first 3 letters of this string hello, I'll say I want to slice from character at position 0 up to, but not including the character at position 3. Now let me click OK here, come here and run this snippet, Control Enter. Now the output, as you can see, is hell. Now a quick way to know how many slices you are grabbing is by taking the upper bound and minus the lower bound. For example, in this example, you can say 3 minus 0 will give you 3, which is these 3 characters right here. Now let's use the slice method on our character counter. Now that we've discussed how this method works, I'm just going to delete these 2 lines of code and then move these 2 lines of code up here, and then uncomment both of them by again clicking Control / like so. Now, as I was saying earlier, what I want is for our character counter to take a limited number of characters and to cut the rest of the characters out. So the first thing that I am going to do here, I am going to create a variable. Okay, we do have that prompt that we had earlier, and then when we paste our text inside here, let me just do this once again. When I click OK, remember we get this pop-up that reads you have typed 445 characters, you have minus 245 characters remaining. So we don't want that. We want our character counter to take only 200 characters and to cut the rest of the characters out. Now to achieve that, the first thing that I am going to do, I am going to create another variable. I'm going to say var. I'm going to name this character message. Let's say under 200. This is our character limit. Okay, I'm going to set this to equal a message. This is what we want to slice. Remember, message dot slice. This is the slice method. We want to slice the messages that we will be getting from the character at position 0 up to the character at position 200. Okay, so let me close this off with a semicolon. Now we are still going to use an alert. Let me just remove what's inside this alert. So we are still going to create a pop-up using the alert. Now what we want to return to the user is the message itself. So we'll just say alert message message under 200. Okay, here, and then close this off with a semicolon. Now let's run this snippet. Control Enter. Now once again, I am just going to copy this lorem ipsum text like we did earlier, and then I am going to paste it inside here, and then click OK. Now we have that text cut to 200 characters. So right now we are no longer getting like that extra characters that exceed our limit. Now we have cut we have managed to be able to cut or slice only 200 characters. Now if you just want to check if indeed this text is 200 characters long, you can use the length method. We can just say dot length like so. We'll just come here, click OK, enter the message. I'm just going to type to paste that message once again, and then I'm going to click OK. You see the output is 200 here, and this confirms that the text is 200 characters long. Now what we can also do right here is that, if we want, we can shorten this code. We can shorten this code as much as we want, but the most important thing, if you don't want to do that, the most important thing is that, as they say, there are many ways to skin a cat. If your code is working and you don't want to do some more work on it, it's fine. The most important thing is that you are able to get the outcome that you need. But we can take things a step further here and say, to cut this code, we can come in here and remove and cut this the value of this variable. I'm just going to cut it like so, and then I'm going to replace it inside this alert here. I'm just going to delete everything inside here and then paste here, and then because we took out the value, we are just going to remove this variable here. Let me run this code and see if everything is working as it was. I'm just going to once again copy this lorem ipsum text, and then once again paste it inside here, and then click OK. Okay, fine, everything is still working fine. And then we can take things a step further by once again coming here and take out this value, the value of this first variable. I'm just going to cut it out like so, and then I am going to come in here and paste it inside these round brackets here. And because we have cut it out, and we are going to remove this message because we've taken its value out like so, and then we are going to remove it from here, so we don't have a variable anymore at the top here. Let me just move everything up here. Once again, let's just put this to a test and run. Click Control Enter, and then I'm going to copy that lorem ipsum text again. Okay, and then let me paste it inside here, and then click OK. And then everything is still working fine. Once again, if you want to just confirm if indeed the length of this of the characters is 200, you can use dot length once again like so. Okay, let's put this to a test one last time. Paste that text, and then OK, it confirms that the length of the message that we pasted inside is 200 characters long. Now, in closing, let me also show you how you can use the slice method in an array. By the way, I discuss arrays in detail in a later episode. Here, I just want to show you that in an array, the slice method returns selected elements as a new array. Now, to do that, I'm just going to let me comment out this line of code here. I'm going to create once again a space so that we have a bit of space at the top there. So I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to say var and then I'm going to say cars, okay, and I'll say it's equal to square brackets. And then when you have to say square brackets, you should know that here we are dealing with arrays. We discussed that, as I was saying, in a later episode in detail. Now inside here we are going to have 4 items, 4 cars. And I'll say the first one is Ford, and then the second one, say Mazda. We'll have a third one, let's say it's a Toyota, and then the third one, let's say it's okay, Volvo. It's fine. All right, we just create spaces inside here, here, and here as well, and close this off with a semicolon. Now I'm going to use an alert to create a pop-up. Okay, say alert, and then inside a pair of round brackets, I'm going to specify that which I want to slice. So I want to slice cars, okay, and then I'm going to use the slice method to slice cars. Now let's say, for example, I want to slice cars from position 0 up to but not including position 3. So I want to slice cars from position 0, from Ford, which is at position 0, Mazda, which is at position 1, Toyota, which is at position 2. All right, so I'm going to say slice cars from position 0 up to but not including position 3. Okay, let me click Control Enter. Now here is the outcome. As I was saying, 3 cars, Ford, Mazda, and Toyota. So this is just an example of how using the slice method returns selected elements as new arrays. Once again, if we want to slice the last 2 cars, we will have to count from 0, which is Ford, Mazda, which is at position 1, and then Toyota, which is at position 2. So which means we will have to say we want to slice from position 2 up to but not including position 4. All right, it will be position 5, beg your pardon. Let me just say okay here, and then Control Enter, and that gives us the last 2 items on our array, which is a Toyota and Volvo. Now that brings us to the end of our discussion of the JavaScript slice method. Should you have questions or want to further the discussion or need some clarity, feel free to get in touch in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.